All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, we're going to go over something with the DELPHI kit. Hello, Debbie. That was quick. I didn't even see you come in. That's fast. I know you're busy, but I want to through something quick. When Abby and Libby are at the end of the bridge, Libby's standing there filming, right? It looks like to me she turns around and says hi. To who? I don't know. But she says that before Abby gets off of the bridge and comes walking by. So, who? Now, other people are saying, no, she's not saying hi. She's saying, like she's startled with Bridge Guy. But Bridge Guy ain't around her, and she's been watching the whole time. She knows someone's behind them, but she don't say nothing. Nothing like, hey, some creepy guy's following us or anything like that. And I was looking at another footage that Miss Chasing True Crime, I do believe, put out. And yes, it does look like at point of the video that Bridge Guy is standing still. I do agree, it does look like that. At one point, he stops and he's just standing there. Now, whether it's, like I said, there's a lot of people saying that this video possibly could be fake. I don't know. Staged. I don't know. Possibly. There is. It is highly possible for someone to do this. So I do agree with that lady that at one point he's standing still. He stops in his tracks. Now, whether that is because his cue hasn't come yet, like a lot of people are saying, this could have been all staged, even the video. And I'm one to agree that it is very possible for someone to create this or reconfigure it, dress the same, even possibly somebody that looks real close to her, to Abby and Libby, right? Now we don't know that. I'm just throwing that out there for you folks to keep in mind that there have been YouTubers that have already reenacted this whole bridge thing. So there is a very well possibility somewhere there's a mix up. Hold on a minute, I got to check a message real quick. Hold on, folks. And folks, I'm sorry if I don't see things in chat because the way I do videos, I have to focus on something. Usually I'm focusing on my screen and the view outside my window or whatever's going on, like that hawk flying around or the squirrels. And I don't pay attention to chat sometimes because I have to stay focused. If I don't focus, then I lose my place and I get lost because that's part of my problem. But I do want to thank my mods for uh, using their own judgment on who they time out or whatever. And I don't think anyone really gets timed out in my chat unless they're deliberately picking on one of us or being mean or whatever. But you people have your rights to your opinions on this channel and others, right? Um, we all been through it, the bullyism, whatever. So I do believe Libby turns around, and to me, this is my opinion, my my thoughts. It looks like there's somebody already standing there. And she turns around and says, hi. And this is before Abby even comes off the bridge. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, here we go with the shadows. But now that we are seeing this, well, it's very possible that was a shadow. When she turns around, it looks like Abby's already standing there, but it ain't Abby. Abby hasn't come off the bridge yet. So I do agree. It does look like that. And it very well might sound like that she turns around and says hi. And then she starts talking again. Whether she's talking to somebody in a chat or on a live or somebody actually already there. Right? Because we hear that hi, it sounds like to me she says hi. But now there's other people saying, no, she don't say hi. She says, like startled from Bridge Guy. Well, Bridge Guy is 50 feet under the bridge still. Abby hasn't even come off the bridge. The whole time they know he's there. Why isn't she sounding more or saying more before he gets closer? Why didn't she say, this guy's following us and he really scares us? But just make sure if something happens, it's recorded or whatever. The whole thing is I do believe he did stop for a minute. Now, whether it was on purpose because he was getting too close, or whether he realized there's a good chance he was being filmed, or I don't know. A lot of people think, well, it could be a reenactment, and this is what very well could be. We don't know. We're not professionals. Only God would know. But she does say stuff, and she is talking to somebody, whether it's the lurer, meaning she was on the phone with Anthony Schatz or someone she thought was Anthony Schatz, and they led her there. You have to remember there was over 200 people that were using that account supposedly, or other people, right? There was a whole bunch of other people using that account. We didn't know that until after Klein started talking that, well, he did give people, access or whatever. So the whole time they could have been watching him. Keegan Klein was there luring them, probably, maybe. But she's talking to somebody that ain't there. Abby's not even off the bridge. Now, was she live when this was happening? I don't know. But like I said, Abby's not even off of the bridge, and she's talking to somebody or something. I do believe she does say hi when she turns around, and it does look like there's somebody standing there bigger than her. Whether it's a woman or a man, I don't know. I don't know. And the voice, well, we had a couple of people already in that scenario of voice who it sounds like. But that could be wrong, right? We're hearing it a different format or whatever, and the pitch or the vowels are different. As some people are saying, well, when the second voice comes, it's way louder. Well, that could be because it was edited, someone else's voice, or whoever it was real close to the phone, like behind him or something, and was real close to the phone and the microphone. So I don't know, something ain't adding up. And that's just my opinion. I think maybe later on we'll go over the video again and I'll show where she says hi, which, like I said, there's other people already and they have their opinions. And I might be wrong. She might not have said hi. She might have said, ugh, or ugh, or whatever. But I do believe it was hi. And you only say hi to someone if they're standing there and you come across the bridge, right? You turn around and someone's standing there hi. I don't know. It's kind of fishy. And then there's some people saying, well, is that even really Libby talking? It sounds so young or childish or whatever. But then we have to remember these kids were only, what, 14, 15? Uh, I guess it depends on how you're raised, how, you know, how mature people are, or how fast puberty is before their voice change, because she still has, not my opinion, a little child's voice. And is it horrible? Yes, it's horrible. Does it sound like they're in danger? No. The sniffling, I think, was because it was cold that day. It was 50, but only at a certain time. And after the sun started going down, it got chilly. Do I think they're crying? No, come on, man. What? This ain't making sense. It's not, the story they're putting out is not making sense. I give Abby or Libby credit for recording this, and everyone's saying that she was a wanted to be a crime fighter and she knew about this stuff. Then I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, because she would have known the first thing she should have done before doing anything was dial 911 or call family right away, pronto. That's my opinion. But this is a 14-year-old girl, and if they were under pressure, what am I getting out of this video? That they didn't feel afraid at all. Not at this point. Not at what we're seeing. It looked to me like they were joking around. Even Abby coming off the bridge, her face, like they were joking around or something. And even her face changes a little bit, but that's probably because of the lighting, sun, whatever. So, what do we do? I don't know. What do we do? Who knows? Let me see what my mod said. When you are walking or working out, you can cough, have a runny nose, out of breath. Yes, yes, that's true. That is true, Miss Fox. Also, if it's chilly out, right, you would get the sniffles, right? Maybe they uh, didn't dress properly for the weather. The clothes that they were wearing, if they were going to go out mudding, trampling through mud and they were out there on a search, geological search or whatever. Do you think Abby would have wore her real nice Converse high top gym shoes just to get all muddy and crappy and everything? And the clothes they were wearing? It don't make sense to me, right? They just had on a, a hoodie zip up sweaters, right? Or jackets or whatever. And that was it. No winter boots, no gloves, no nothing. Summer weather, but it really wasn't summer. It was the middle of February, and it was warm here. The same day it was warm down there, it was warm up here. We had massive snow melt. It was a record-breaking warm day in February, where it did get in the high 50s. But that was at like noon or 2 o'clock or whatever. And then it started getting cold again. We had a cold front coming in, and it was getting chilly. So I would think maybe possibly the sniffles, or they were running, like Debbie was saying, heavy breathing, whatever. What I don't hear is crying and begging for their lives and terror. I don't hear that. I just don't hear it. I don't see it. I mean, granted, these were young kids, but surely, being that their grandparents and family members were, they surely must have been taught, if you're in danger, you call 911 or call one of the family members, right? Right away. You don't hesitate. You give up, you stop everything, and you call the police. And we're not seeing that here. And it's just suspicious to me and millions of others. But Debbie, you're right. If you're walking or running long distance, depending on what time, I don't know, in the summertime, do you get a runny nose in the summer? Well, you know what? She's right. Allergies. You're right, Miss Fox. One of these girls could have had allergies, even though it was a warm day. I mean, if you consider 50 a warm day, uh, like today is 60, I think today here, and I still have a zip up jersey on, or whatever you want to call it, hoodie. I mean, it's warm, but would I go out into the wilderness with just this on and a pair of gym shoes? Probably not. And not my favorite clothes or the clothes, here. Does that make sense? They're supposed to be out there geo doing whatever. That first story they told us, they were geo tracking, right? They place these prizes or whatever or something in certain spots, and you got to find it with GPS. And then if they're going out there to do that, they're dressed like this. Like, does it make sense that she would have on her Converse high tops, all white, real nice? I don't think, and the clothes they were wearing, I don't think so. So what were they doing out there? I think we know what they were doing. They were led there. They thought probably they were going to meet someone there. It just didn't work out that way. And it is sad. Uh, but you folks, reality is reality. These people are just, the world's gone nuts. And it's drove everyone on this earth nuts. Hold on a minute, folks. I got to answer a minute here. So, yeah, she could have been running, walking, long distance, had allergies, sniffling. I don't hear them crying. If they are crying, it's acting. I almost hear a laughing or a giggle or something when she's saying hi or whatever she's saying. Very suspicious to me. And like I said, these are kids, 14-year-old kids. So we don't know what actually, how they would have reacted. You would think they would have been scared and there would have been more evidence that their lives were in danger. You would think that. You would think that these girls were petrified. Help us, a killer's coming. Nothing. Nothing. I cannot go against these YouTubers that are saying this is a line of crap because we're not hearing death. We're not hearing any of this crap that they led us to believe. And it sounds like they're just out there having a good time. Like, this might be like a reenactment or something, or not even them, or I'm not hearing. I'm not hearing. I'm not seeing their lives in danger at that point. At that point, no, no, just like maybe someone behind him. Actually, him stopping and waiting for her to get further away is very suspicious to me. That maybe it wasn't his cue to come in. To the whole thing. My other opinion would be if this guy just pops out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Then he was underneath the bridge and actually popped out underneath the bridge. He was waiting underneath the bridge because the guy appears out of nowhere. But only in a certain part of the video. And that's very suspicious to me. The only other thing I can think is line of sight and trajectory. Abby was at the right spot and Libby was filming at the right spot, whoever it was, where you could not see BG at all. And then out of nowhere, she moves just a little bit and boom, we catch a glimpse of a leg or something. And then it stops. And then he literally, it looks like he does stop. He stands there. Pretty crazy to me. Like I said, my condolences to the families of these girls. Because to this day, they're probably the only ones still suffering. And the family. But I'm not saying that these two girls, Abby and Libby, didn't lose their life. I'm saying somebody might have took this mess and manipulated the whole thing and put it out there. And this is the original video, they say. We don't know. Was it released by police? Did the police come out on a big press release and say we're releasing the original footage of BG? No, they didn't. Miss Debbie Fox says they weren't crying. I don't think so, Deb. I don't think so. It sounds like to me once Libby got off of the bridge, even if she crossed the, I don't know. We don't know. There's so many scenarios and theories. You know, I don't know. You got witnesses saying there was 3 girls on the bridge. Did Abby and Libby know this third girl? Or did they just meet them there? Right? Another person that was lured there by Anthony Shots account. Or was she there to be a decoy or something? We don't know. And to ask these questions are only right for anybody that's going to try and solve a case, or even a professional government investigator would be asking these questions when all this stuff ain't adding up and the voices are changing and all this madness and the videos changing and these people are morphing right in front of you. Yeah, pretty crazy. Now, was this a mind bender case just deliberately? Is this even the Delphi case, or is it the Evansdale case? And they just made a couple tweaks. Is it any wonder why these people are saying, well, this is like the Evansdale case of the 2 girls or 3 girls that went missing? I think there was 3, but 2 of them were found dead. Wow, ain't that something? Delphi. Rumors of 3 girls on the bridge. 2 die. 1 gets away where they trafficked him. Right? Then you have the fires in Florida, right there, right? Family dies, but you know, yeah, yeah, I can see how people are saying, well, "What's going on here?" Right? Yeah, I'm shocked myself. I memorized myself, but I have a disability, so it's easy to fool me. Yeah, I agree, Debbie. I don't hear no crying. It sounds like to me they're out there with somebody, or they're talking to somebody, uh, and they don't feel in danger yet, right? They're not. They don't feel in danger, or it would have went down a lot different. I mean, one of the girls' family member was fire rescue or fire department or something, or ex cop or whatever. Surely these girls were taught and knew if you're in danger, you call 911 emergency help or a family member. Surely that would have happened. But I can't say because I wasn't there and I'm not a 14-year-old kid. If I was scared and I was 14 and I felt like some guy was following me on a bridge and yeah, I think I would have ran, especially if I had a phone back then. We didn't have cell phones. I definitely would have called a family member or called someone acting like, hey, right, I got some crazy guy. Here he is. Right, he's coming right now. This guy's crazy. He's going to kill me. You know, I would have been calling 911, the police, because back then they actually did protect kids and people. I don't know. So maybe later on tonight we'll go into this Delphi video more where Livy is saying hi to somebody, and it does look like there's a shadow there. And that's before Abby and Livy, or Abby, gets off the bridge. And yes, someone says something as Abby runs past the camera, and you can see her legs and her feet. Yeah, pretty crazy if you ask me. And if these people were that crazy, they could have filmed that. You know, there's a lot of people saying, well, it was a snuff film. And the girls didn't know. They thought it was all model acting or whatever. And the girls didn't actually know what was going to happen at the end. And that could be very well true. I don't know. You folks have a good day. God bless. Miss Debbie Fox, thanks for stopping in. You made some good points. Maybe they were running. Maybe they were running for a while. Maybe they were just walking for a while. Maybe it they had sinuses and they were sniffling. Maybe it was just getting chilly and they started getting cold. But good points. You folks have a great day. God bless.